year now, when Rosh Chodesh Adar, Lamed Shvat, in of itself, the end of the month, marks the Hilula of a really great rabbi. His name was Rabbi Yehezkel Ezra ben Rachamim, Zecher Tzadik Libracha, one of the great rabbis of his time. He was born actually on the 25th of April in the year 1876 and passed away on the 3rd of February in the year 1908. He was a great rabbi. He was a Kabbalist, one of the great rabbis of Baghdad, respectively, and he would actually move towards the end of his life to the holy city of Jerusalem, the capital of Israel. He would be the author of the great Torah book, Halacha book, Hi'ar, and various different books within regards to the Shas, the Talmud Babli, and the Knesset Yehezkel in of itself. Let's explore a few of the highlights of the great rabbi's life. Now, he was born in Baghdad and actually came from great lineage. His father's name was Rab Mola Rachamim, who happened to be a great rabbi in of itself. I believe he himself happened to be, I believe, the older brother who would become the Rishon LeZion, let's say the chief rabbi of Israel, Rabbi Yitzchak Nisim. Now, Rabbi Yitzchak Nisim would be the chief rabbi, let's just say the Rishon LeZion, between the years 1955 to 1972. So all around his family was very much decorated with great Torah, let's say Torah greatness in of itself. So he actually came there. And Baghdad at that point in time was, let's say, an epicenter, especially at the end of the 1800s, early 1900s, with regards to some of the great Torah rabbis of his day. It's actually reported over that while he was young, he was a brilliant learner, very diligent, and his wisdom was absolutely astounding. In fact, Rabbi Chaim Hizkiah Medini, who happened to be the author of the Stei Chemed, the rabbi we've spoken about on various occasions before, actually says about Rabbi Yehezkel Ezra, about the greatness within regards to Rabbi Yehezkel in of itself. It's actually written in the Stei Chemed. I'll say it in Hebrew, what it says. I think it was when he was 15 years of age. He machtir et Rabbi Yehezkel Ezra, sheya az ben 15 b'ta'arim nechbadim. Really gave him great honor about his greatness. Also, Rabbi Rachamim Nisim Yitzchak Pelagi, I think, who was a famous descendant of the famous Rabbi Chaim Pelagi and Rabbi Avram Pelagi in of itself. I think in his book, Yafer Lelev, also mentions Rabbi Yehezkel within regards to it, saying the Ari Sheba Chabura. The really great compliments he actually pays him to the highest level. The lion of the pack, listen, the illuminating, spectacular, let's just say. And among the rabbis that also appreciated him was also the famous Ben Ishai, Rab Yosef Chaim, probably arguably one of the most famous rabbis of his time. Also Rabbi Avram Bijajo, another great rabbi, really was a famous Dayan, Shocheder Rabbanan, and rabbi of I think Kehila of Portugal in of itself. Also Rabbi Ben Zion Avram Kohanika, another great rabbi, would actually pay him the highest compliments, who would become later on the Rosh Yeshiva of Tifirat Yerushalayim, and Rabbi Yosef Chaim Sonnenfeld. So he was very, very respected, not just from the Sephardic countries, also from the Ashkenazic countries. He was very famous there. Now, I believe, come at the year 1904, he would have been at that stage in time about 28 years of age. He would move to Eretz Yisrael over there with various different great rabbis, including Rabbi Yaakov Chaim Sofer and Rabbi Tzadka Chotzin, two great rabbis. In fact, I believe it happens to be in this 2-day window, let's just say, also the Hilul of Rabbi Tzadka Chotzin, who was also another great rabbi, and Rabbi Yaakov Chaim Sofer was a famous author of the Kaf HaChaim. So they would actually move, I think, as a group together at that point in time. They were visited by, let's just say, they visited the holy places at that point in time, and visited the great sages of the land of Israel, including Rabbi Chaim Hizkiah Medini and Rabbi Eliyahu Meni. Rabbi Eliyahu Meni was the chief rabbi of Hebron at that time. And I think there was written down like the impressions of the meeting he had with the incredible Rabbi Eliyahu Meni, and I think would send him to the Ben Ish Chai later on, who was, I think, at one stage Talmid also of Rabbi Eliyahu Meni. And he would settle in Jerusalem and would stay there until he passed away. I think it was in the year 1908, it was reported. He would teach various different students, including at the famous Shoshanim, the Yeshiva Shoshanim LeDavid, yeshiva, which was famous yeshiva in the early 1900s. It's in fact Rabbi Ezra Atiyah, who would later on become the Rosh Yeshiva of Rat Yosef, was his Talmid and considered him a great rabbi in of itself. So it's very, very interesting. Remember, Rabbi Ezra Atiyah would become the rabbi of Chacham Obadiah Yosef, as we've mentioned about on various occasions before inside this series. It was just showed the greatness of him. And he would be in Jerusalem, I think, was learning the Chachma HaKabbalah over there. I think under the auspices of Rabbi Chaim Shaul HaKohen Dweck, another great rabbi. I think he happened to be from Aleppo, respectively. So he was really, really great rabbi. Now, it's reported over that he suffered a lot during his life. And reported over, he passed away. When he passed away, his parents were still alive. He was only reported over 32 years of age. He was buried in Har Hazeitim in the rabbinic plot over there, and was eulogized by the great rabbis of Jerusalem at that point in time, including the Rishon LeZion, the chief rabbi, Rabbi Eliyahu Moshe Panizeh. At that point in time, he happened to be the chief rabbi at that point in time, and so I think he suffered from illness before he passed away at the young age. Now, he authored various different great Torah books. Let's explore some of them, including the Hi'ar, as we mentioned at the beginning. This was a gathering of various different laws in of itself. I think based on the Shulchan Aruch on the book of Orach Hayim and Yoredeh and Eben Ezer Choshen Mishpat, the Halalei Nafshi, which would perish on the book of Tehillim, Psalms, B'derech Pardes, as I say, the Knesset Yehezkel, which is Kuntras in of itself. I think based on Halacha and Haggadah, Jewish law and Haggadah, there was a Perush and explanation on the Haggadah Shel Pesach. There was a Haggaot v'chidushim al Mesechtot Hashas on various different tractates in the Talmud Bavli, a Kuntras Klali Hashas, including the Poskim and a Sheilot and Shuvot, I think short questions and answers book in of itself. I think there was a something connected to Zivchei Tzedek through the great Rabbi Abdallah Somech, one of the great writings, and the Knesset Yehezkel, which he was very much connected to. And over here, it's going to be his Hilula, over here on Lamed Shvat, or you could say we're on Rosh Chodesh Adar territory over here. He was only 32 years of age at the time he passed away, one of the great rabbis of his time, one of the great educators of the time, the rabbi of Rav Ezra Atiyah, and he lived at a golden age of Iraqi Jewry, and would later on pass away, sadly, at the young age in Israel, and just showed the greatness within regards to him. Don't forget to light candles in his memory. Friends, if you feel anyone will be interested in watching any of these videos, please share the videos to other people. If you happen to be related to any of these great Rahamim, please let me know. Send me a comment over here. We're a community here. We're learning about the great rabbis of this year, and please subscribe to the channel. I'm wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom. Recording this before Shabbat Parashat.